Hey everybody, I'm Janine Wright, editor of Greenhouse Grower, and I am here today with Kurt Becker of Dramm. Dramm is one of the title sponsors for the Grow Executive Summit, and we're very grateful for their support of the event. So I thought it'd be a great time to just catch up with the Dramm and find out what's new there, what's going on, and kind of what their priorities are for 2022 for helping growers, be more efficient with their practices and do the best that they can in their operations. So Kurt, glad to have you.
Thanks, Janine. Good to see you. Yeah, we're kind of excited for this event. I think it'll be kind of, we've always liked the idea. We've been part of the Grow group, the Grow initiative for a number of years, and we've always liked that conversation that comes from it. And we're sponsoring this because you guys opened it up to a wider group and are hoping to facilitate deeper conversations throughout the industry. So I think that, that's something we're really interested in as a company. And I think it's going to help our industry grow. So looking forward to the event. As far as what's been new with us, we're just slammed like the rest of the industry. Obviously, there's challenges with supply. There's getting everything we need is difficult. As I'm sure you'll hear that from anybody else you speak to on the supply side of our industry. Getting raw materials, getting different components and things that we need has been a challenge, and it still is. I mean, our poor purchasing people are focusing so much on, it used to be they'd go out and they'd buy 50 tanks for a sprayer, this line that we run, and just have a blanket order and just keep running those 50-piece orders. And the people making those tanks are saying, yeah, no, you can have 5. And then what our people have to do is go out and find ways to make that happen, even if our main supplier is only going to give us 5. And so it's made us focus on in-housing some things that we used to buy from other people. So we've put in new production lines, we've built new molds for things that we want to have control over. But it's been a challenge, definitely. And we're coming into the heavy shipping season for the consumer side of stuff. So it's going to be we'll see how that goes. The good thing is we still see the growth in the industry being strong. I mean, I think, the numbers for last summer were 35% growth, but our firm belief is that there wasn't enough products to actually grow as much as we could have as an industry. I think everybody ran out of stuff at 35%. So what happens now? We're seeing it at the consumer shows that we do, where you're seeing those numbers be ridiculously higher than what they were. So it's going to continue to be a challenging year. Our focus that we've really been trying to make sure, is as we're helping growers, one of the things that we noticed internally is that, like I said, we have to in-house things. We have to become more efficient because labor has been a problem, as it is throughout. You can't go to a restaurant on a Monday or Tuesday night in most places because they don't have staff to run them anymore. And so efficiency, looking at ways to do things better, smarter, more automation. We've really focused on our engineering services to help growers in that. We look at it from a standpoint of, if grower doesn't have enough people to be handling things in their facility, we should be the ones designing their irrigation system. We're capable. We have, systems in place to make that very easy for a grower. They don't have to go source all the different parts. We ship the whole thing to them. The same is true with water management. They find themselves running out of water off of a well. We have some ways just through tanks and pumps that might make that extend their water capacity. But the most important thing with that is that we don't sell just a tank. We need to sell a complete solution to a grower, and we need to engineer it and provide the support behind making it all get up and running, make it work, getting all the stuff there. So there's, we've added support staff from a project management standpoint. We've added engineering staff to make sure that we can help growers get some of these projects completed, because they're generally short on staff to be able to do it themselves. So that's been one really big focus for Dramm the last year and a half. The other is sanitation. And believe it or not, we were kind of pushing that direction before COVID kind of came along and made everybody think about wiping down their groceries and stuff like that. just before COVID, we'd come out with a small little pump up foamer. And the idea was to try, we'd been making foamers for 20 years, but ones that connect to a compressor to be able to foam down walls or, benches, surfaces. But the challenge was always getting some people to understand it's another piece of equipment, accept it, see the benefit of it. And so we came up with just a little hand pump, $130 little hand pump sprayer, but it's the way we designed it is actually meant to foam. And so you can apply disinfecting foam with a small level and just get an idea of how it works and use it for smaller areas. And that was intended initially to get people to think about being cleaner. Before we started this conversation, we were talking a little about the vegetable guys. Those guys that are growing crops that are for human consumption, whether it's going to be medicinal or edible, they've always had to worry about other pathogens. Ornamental growers look more towards things like Pythium or Botrytis or Fusarium, things like that. The edible guys, the vegetable guys, the cannabis guys, they all have to worry about those, but they also have to worry about passing on some human pathogen. And so sanitation is important. It's just as important to both sides. We're just trying to make sure that the full industry is paying attention to it across the board.
Yeah, for sure. And, I think it's interesting, you're talking about your hand spray for foaming that, some of the solutions for stuff like that, they don't have to be these big things. There's all kind, a whole spectrum of solutions for things like that to make it easier and kind of like, customize it, tailor, make it for the growing operation or what's going to work for them. So lots of good things going on at Dramm and they'll be at the event. And again, we really appreciate their sponsorship of Grow Executive Summit. We're very excited to have the growers there and hear some of those discussions. So thank you to Dramm and thank you, Kurt, for being here and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks, Janine. Look forward to seeing you in a month or so.